Thank you, team. Thank you, John, Handerina, and Paula. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you.
I hope everyone had a restful holiday break where we were having Eid. I know some of us were not celebrating Eid, but our team, our members, they celebrate. We have different members who are celebrating Eid, and we are ready to take on now with our daily routines. Nice to meet you all. Last year proved that young people like yourselves holding a key for development and change for our communities. And also, as always, Green, we are looking forward to supporting and celebrating your journey with us. We are looking forward for 2022. We will be sharing more stories of young people doing exceptional work and resources for you to further your different projects in different communities. And all who, if you have not done so, follow us on social media to never miss any updates. Welcome to our talk show, people around the world. I know that we are not only here listening, we have the listeners out there who are listening, who are watching John, Handerina, and Paula today for our conversation. So people around the world, meet our panelists. It's a honor to have Johnny Wek. I think I'm pronouncing it very well. I'm sorry about the names.
No, you're correct. You did it well.
Wow. He's the executive director of WeFocus Agency and founding member of the organization. Johnny Weke, who is a South Sudanese, currently living in Cairo, Egypt as a refugee. He holds a Bachelor of Nursing from Cairo University and currently works as a nurse in the hospital in Cairo. He is also a youth activist and he founded the WeFocus Agency, a refugee youth-led organization where he's executive director. WeFocus teaches English and computer skills to refugees in Cairo. John has more than 5 years of experience working with non-governmental organizations in the area of health and education, and also is also dedicated volunteering with a huge interest in advocating for refugees and youth and supporting refugee access to health and education in particular. John is the kind of person who loves to help others. That is very nice introduction, John. I'm happy to meet you. And also we have Handerina Galafa.
Yes,
she's a communication officer at WeFocus Agency. And also Handerina is a Malawian young talented youth with a passion to bring change to the world, and especially by helping refugees. Handerina, she's not a refugee. She's currently works in Kalasi Aline Hospital as a nurse and volunteering along with WeFocus Agency as a communication officer. Handerina holds a Bachelor of Nursing from Cairo University and is an active youth and has spoken at different international events, such as during the World Diabetes Day event on 14th November 2018 at Cairo University, Egypt, and at the Conference of Nursing Students for Yom University in Egypt in 2019. Welcome, Handerina. And still outside, we have Paula Imani Batista. Paula Imani is a young refugee girl based at Chakatu Refugee Settlement. She's 15 years. She's a student and an activist who is empowering young girls through writing poems. She advocates for refugee girls' education and adolescent sexual and reproductive health rights, SRHR. She hopes to inspire girls to develop responsibility and a sense of purpose at a very early stage to help prepare them for the future. She is a member of the Vision Group, which works to transform lives through music, dance, drama, education, and livelihood activities, especially refugee girls and women. She looks forward to women and girls coming into more leadership roles in different sectors, even beyond, especially at the local level where she is. Nice to meet you, Paula, and welcome for our panel today. Feel free to share anything you want to share with us after the questions, or you have any kind of feedback. We'll be having the recommendations. So I'm going to start with John. John, I would like to hear more about your experience as a young person, how it looks like to you and your family life in short. And also, how's your experience connected you to the work you're doing with the refugee young people? Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Frida. So thank you for the question. Always good, as a Christian, I always give thanks to God, for how he brought me up and, and everything that I have achieved so far through some hard struggles. So something that I'm always grateful. So to the point of my experience, I believe, serving the young people, especially the refugees, is such a good thing because when we look at, at the current situation that they are facing, around the world, so these are not the problem that can be solved by one person or two people. So we can help, and especially through our collective, support, I think we can make a huge difference. And so I'm glad and happy to be part of those who are helping, especially through WeFocus Agency. To the point of about the women, I believe that we are equal. I never thought, in my life that there are things that women cannot do. So just because they are women, I never thought about that. So I believe, a woman can be a great leader, and especially over the years that I have worked with, a different organization. So I have learned a lot. Most of my bosses, and especially those who were in the top leadership, were women, and we had, we had a lot of great success together for those organizations. And also here at the WeFocus Agency, we have the half of, our volunteers, they are women, and we are doing such a great work. So I don't see any reason that gender equality should be, should be a problem. I don't see any reason at all, and we should continue to fight for this right of the women wherever it exists. So thank you.
Thank you, John, because your response even answered, you already answered the follow-up question, which I wanted to ask you, as what do you think about women being in a table or in a leadership? As long as you bring it all, then let me just jump directly to Paula, a young refugee from Chakat Refugee Settlement. Paula, what comes to your mind when you hear women at the table or women in leadership? What do you think about it? The floor is yours.
Women at the table, I imagine the world where women have more opportunities than ever. We are so much changing in our careers and in our communities. We have the voices and inputs, and it's time to be recognized. Women and girls, we need a massive net. We need to push away all the barriers and create more opportunities for girls and women leadership. We need a table where women can make decisions, and not only information desks. I'm talking about decision making and information, and I'm talking about decision making and leadership, because this is not only for boys and men, but also women can do that perfectly. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. We need, Paula mentioned the very, we need a massive net. We need something big. We need to see that we're targeting something big, a massive net for many women in the community. And this takes me back to Henderina as on the front line. Andelina, I want to hear more about your experience, your journey, and now as a nurse. How did you make it up at that level, and who are you helping? And you are young women working on the front line. What do you think about women being at the table in leadership roles? What does women leadership look like in your community or at your workplace? How does it look like? The floor is yours, Hanedina.
Okay, thank you so much, Farida. Thank you, all other panelists and those who are listening to us today. First of all, let me share a little bit of my background. I did my education in Malawi, and where I was doing my high school, my secondary school education, we had lots of people from Rwanda and Burundi. And so I was getting to know them one by one, like what are their challenges, how do they deal with them living in a foreign country. So I became curious about how they lived in our country. So when I got a scholarship to study nursing in Egypt, I was like, I think I need to make a difference. I need to start, realizing my potential and helping people out there. Because when I went to Egypt, I found that there were a lot of refugees coming from different countries and other things. So I think after I did my education, I was being inspired by the refugees, people from Rwanda and Burundi who were in my country. And when I moved to Egypt, I was like, I'm now in their shoes. What can I do? What should I do to make a difference in these people's lives? To make a difference. And I want to continue. You said I'm working on the front line as as a WeFocus communication officer. So what I've realized is that we women, we are smart, we are very intelligent, we can make just good decisions as men. This is what I've also learned from my colleague John. Because of his support, I can say that women who are working who are leaders, they are able to make wise decisions. They are able to make bold decisions, and this makes like an environmental workplace more authoritative. It becomes like cooperative. So there is a cooperation between men and women at the organizations, and then it boosts the teamwork and the organization. So it's really great to have us as women working on the front line.
Handerina, and the way you were when you were speaking, it's like you are full of passion of what you're doing, and this reminds me a woman I met like last month and told me, when you hire a woman, it's like you're bringing home at the workplace. That kind of love women put in the home, when a woman is not at home, it's like something missing. So that's every workplace needs more women and then bring more home at work. Thank you, Handerina, to share your experience. And now this takes me back to Paula. Paula, I'm back to you. If you had the power to do anything you wished to improve the status of women and girls in your community, what would you do?
Well, actually, I think I have come a long way so far, and I do wish that people would be looking for women and girls just as men and boys. I know a lot of women who can do the same work as men do, but unfortunately, they are paid less than men. And in all sectors, like health sectors, but also don't forget a home is also a sector. I call it a sector because it's where we first learn everything. But still, women are not accounted. So, okay, I'm also one of those women and girls. So I would like to see people treat them that they should, especially in my community, Chakatu Refugee Settlement. Thank you, Madam Moderator.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you so much. And from that point, this takes me back to John. You mentioned that women, they're doing the same work as men, but at the end of the day, women, they ended up paid less than men. And at home, many women are not accountable. John, you have a lot of experience volunteering with different organizations organization. What did you learn from that experience about women in leadership roles that you use in your roles as an executive director? How do you support women in leadership?
Well, I have learned a lot. Yeah, so I have learned with the organization that I work with. You know, women are so caring and hardworking, and so we made, you know, especially a great mistake when we put them aside or prevent them from, you know, from taking a leadership position of the role or the rules. So, and this is the part of the reason that our organization, WeFocus Agency, you know, has been fighting for the gender equality. So we believe it is not, you know, right to put the women aside or belittle them, and we should make sure we continue to fight all of us together, and, you know, and get rid of such kind of.
Okay, it said the most important thing we should be teaching young women and girls is none other than leadership, because this is something that has been lacking for a very long time now, especially in refugee communities. And it's not because that we don't want to, but this is because of what the society has labeled women to be. Because we are powerful, and that's what we should be teaching my fellow young girls and women, to take up space. There is nothing more important than take up space in the society. Thank you.
I'm sorry, in my background, I have a young boy here who is moving around. He's moving around, cannot leave me alone. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm a mother. You know, that happens sometimes. I'm happy to hear that. Paula mentioned about that space. Girls and women, they need to take up space. And I think this is what also Handerina mentioned, that space, women making decisions. Even John talked about it. Women, they need to raise up and to their voice to be heard and take that opportunities out there. And I think as the team or today, our panelists, that is the thing you're doing in your communities to see that you advocate for these spaces for young women and girls out there to take up a space. And this takes us to our last call to action. What do you like the audience to take away from this conversation today? Let me first start with let me go back to Paula. Paula, what did in your last remarks, what do you want the audience to take away, your takeaway? What do you want us to take away from this conversation today?
Okay, my last remarks is a reminder that we have the responsibility and the opportunity to promote a more diverse society. I mean, let us be the uplifting force that encourages young women and girls to move forward and lead. That's all I have to say. Thank you, Green. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Let me go back to Handelina. Today, the man will be the last. Handelina, you can come in. What do you want us to take away from all the conversation we had today? The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I think today's conversation, I think we should get in we should know that women they play a very great role in when it comes to decision making and and other roles. But most importantly, I want us to take that in leadership, women they play much more. They play an important role as long as it's them, women, who wants to take over their space, who wants to to rise up and say that I'm able to do this. If women can do, sorry, if women can be able to rise up and make decisions and go with with how the world doesn't go with the way how the world measures us to be, I think we could make a great world. I think so.
Thank you, Handelina. And now let me call John to take the floor. John, John, are you there? Do we have?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
The floor is yours. What do you want the audience to take away from this conversation we had today?
Well, first of all, I want to tell them thank you for listening, to us. So I think this is, we should take it as a great message, because I believe, we have so much to achieve, especially when we allow the gender equality to prevail. So, like in my country at the moment, there are women that we are seeing they are doing so well. So what if we can allow more of them, or give more of them, a leadership role that they can take? So there is so much that we can achieve, and we don't need to miss that opportunity. So let's make sure that all of us we fight for gender equality, allow the women to take the leadership position, and support them. So I think this is what I can tell them, that we need to work together for this. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Handelina. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, Laura, for today's conversation. And in fact, John mentioned about men to give space to women and girls so that they can have that opportunity to be in leadership roles. They can do what men do, also women, they can do it. Even Paula mentioned that, Handelina mentioned that. So I think that we are in the world where we need all of us to be on the table to share decision making. We make the same decision making, to share our opinions, women and girls to share with men what are their opinions, and that is how the world will be I think be sweet or good to everyone. And this can help us to reduce domestic violence against the girl child and women out there. And also this can help women in education, health sector, as Handelina, Paula in education, John, many men, like we need more men like John to support women.
Thank you.
That kind of to have to be on the top of the ladder, not just to lift us at where we have to be. So I think today we had a great discussions, and I'm happy to have you as our panelist. So let me go back to Handelina. Handelina, as a nurse and through your work as a communication officer with WeFocus, you have taken on leadership roles. What have you learned about women's leadership? What advice could you share with our listeners today? The floor is yours, Handelina.
All right, thank you so much. So as a nurse, as well as a WeFocus communication officer, I think I've learned several things about women's leadership. I can say that, when I say that, I'm speaking to a lot of young women out there who want to make a difference in other people's life. Leadership has its challenges, but there are some other essential factors that we need to have as women so that we can succeed in getting leadership roles. For example, I was looking at this, like if you're a woman, it's hard for you, just to, because most of the women, we ourselves, we underestimate ourselves, our ability. So I was thinking, like, there are some factors that we need to have Like, for example, we should have self-esteem. We should have self-esteem. We should know that if we do this, it's because I'm able to do this thing. If I do this, it's because I can be able to get up to that point. So it's what matters is self-esteem. That's what I should say. Another thing is that you should know your self-worth. You should know how much you're valued, your culture, your experience. You have so much to give out to the world. Another thing, you have to be assertive. I find a lot of women out there, they are not assertive. They don't know what they want. They don't know what should be their next step, or what should they do to make a difference in other people's lives, or to come up with a decision. So I say that at least we should be assertive. Another thing is that we should have mentors. As growing up, I've always had people who always inspired me, like they would shape, my career has been shaped with lots of women, very successful women. I take some of them, they are like, I like following lots of, famous women with what is it that they're able to do to support women out there, or to give out other help that is needed. And lastly, I think we should have a great support from our colleagues and other environment that is going to, to help us succeed as women leaders.
Thank you, Handerina. Women are not assertive, and that's why they don't make the right decision at the right time, or maybe also their voice to be heard. They have that can we call it a fear? And this takes us to John directly to our question, to our last question. John, you are the only man on our panel today. As we have heard today, women often have a hard time to raise their voices and be heard at the table. What advice would you give to women and girls on how to overcome these difficulties and take on leadership roles? What would you say to men out there about what they can do to support, value, and respect women's opinions and women's leadership roles? John, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Frida. I think my advice would be simple, especially first to the women. I would say, like, believe in yourself and the ability of what you can do. So this is what I always say, like, especially in some of the session that we would have for, like, to promote gender equality. I always term it in a simple term that be confident, because I believe that, if you are confident, so you will not be able to allow yourself to be, like, belittled by someone else. You would know what to do. So I think it's very important that women should be confident in whatever they do, and have to believe, in themselves, that you are capable, of taking the lead. You're capable of doing anything as well as the men can do. To my fellows, brothers, I will call them that way. Achieving gender equality, I don't think can be possible without, working together, and and show our support, for the women right. So we have to make sure this is not something we can let them only fight for it, but it has to be all our collective, responsibility. And there is a lot that we can achieve, especially when, when we allow the gender equality to prevail. So I think we should make sure that, we take it seriously and start working, start doing something about it, right from our homes to the community and then to the world. So I think if we take it to be a serious issue and something that we can all, do something about it, so we will definitely make, a difference and get rid of that kind, of ideas. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, John. You point out gender equality, that we without gender equality, we cannot achieve more. We need a gender equality so that we can achieve more good things to come, working with women and men, both to be equal. That will be, I think, a very important a message to the world from a man supporting women. Thank you, John. And now I'm going back to Paula. Paula, what is the most important thing we should be teaching refugee young women and girls today? But the floor is yours, Paula.
Yes, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, John. Thank you, Handerina and Paula. We talked about gender equality, and Paula talked about the massive net which we need to throw out there to bring more women on board. Handerina talked about women to make the right decision in the right time, and to be with, to stand on their opinion, the voice of women and girls to be heard. They have even to put that efforts themselves. John talked about the gender equality, men to support, to men, all men around the world to start supporting women and girls out there to live their kind of their potential. You know, we need to be strengthened. When men and boys stand beside us, that means we can move forward as girls, women, young women. So I think this goes back to the audience. Feel free to comment. What do you think about women at the table? What do you think about women at the table? Feel free to comment. Different points raised by our panelists today, and not to forget to share our video, the platforms, share and like, and also you can tell a friend and a friend to tell a friend so that can join, not to miss any opportunity from the Global Refugee Youth Network. Today's your moderator, I'm Farida Luanda. I'm the coordinator of Gender and Diversity at Green. So thank you so much today, and thank you our panelists. I hope to meet you again next time with different theme, and maybe we are there under your communities. We are still reaching even the members. Maybe next time I'll meet your members, not the director or the communication officer, but next time I can ask to see how I can meet, and this we have a discussions with the members you are leading. So thank you so much. Thank you, Paula. I know that you're going back to school. We'll be missing you, but we hope to see you soon when you are back from school. Thank you to raise the important message to all young girls out there who are at school and young women in the refugee community. Handelmana, thank you to work. Handelina, thank you to work with the refugees. You are a host, but you're working with the refugees. And John, thank you to be a good leader to engage the host and the refugee community together.
Thank you.